Hi everybody, welcome back to Lost Game Chronicles. It's Kelly, and we are going to be diving just briefly back into Lost Ember today. We finished the main story, but a while back I was asked if we could do a little review of some of the stuff that we collected, some of the collectibles, and I said that we would. This was a while ago, so I don't know how many people are going to be interested in this, but I thought I'd just put it up just in case people are. So we are going to go to the end of the game and do that today. Back is the relics. Okay, so we have 47 relics to go through. So I hope you guys are ready, but we're just going to kind of talk about the different things that we got. Try to remember when and how I can, where I got them. And yeah, and we'll just kind of have like a little chit chat about it, and the relevance to the lore, because I think there's quite a bit of lore in this game, and we kind of just scratched the surface of it. So here we go. This is an amulet. This was I think the first thing we ever got, and I think we got this off Kalani's body. It's a traditional Yanrana amulet, name amulet. Children used to get their first amulet in an initiation ritual to welcome them as full members of the Yanrana society. This particular amulet looks pretty worn out. The symbol of its owner is hardly recognizable. And we got a Hunter's Firestone. This was just after the very first cave that we went through. On a long journey to find food, hunters would always carry a flintstone with them in order to be able to camp and make a fire to prepare food. Got a hammer, simple and versatile tool, straightforward enough. An axe, the Yanrana used it to clear huge forests to make room for their many farms and villages. Ceramic pot, a small pot, most likely used to cook. We've got hunter ceramic water bottles, small bottles that were used to hold water during trips or hunting expeditions. Got a farmer's amulet, traditional Yanrana amulet, professionally crafted but very basic in its design. The owner apparently wasn't particularly rich or respected. A carving chisel. Whenever someone died, the Yanrana used to carve their name symbol into a stone pillar to show that they would always be a part of their life and not forgotten. These pillars were known as whispering towers. Right, because like, okay, so they were known as whispering towers as you could always make out faint prayers and whispers of the mourning family members. So at the very end, Kalani's father, he mentioned that looks like a whisper stone. This is a whisper stone, I guess. It's a place where this is what they used to carve them. We have a strange pipe, and a mysterious one. It kind of makes you want to explore hidden areas. Oh, because it looks like it's a Mario reference, because it looks like a Mario pipe. That's pretty good. Fancy ritual firestone. The Yanrana used to carefully prepare the dead on a raft made out of dried wheat and wood and decorated with feathers, animal skins, and bones. The raft was sent down the eternal river and was set ablaze to allow the spirit to leave the body and enter into the Ember Palace, which is often found depicted as a sun rising behind a monumental pyramid. So that was okay. So the Ember Tower, if you guys remember the end scene of this game, there was like that idea of the river. So the Eternal River is that river that we were standing in as we like pulled out the view of like pulling out from where Wolf was standing. And it pulled out to the point that the sun rose behind it and it looked like a pyramid. And so I guess that is the sun rising behind a monumental pyramid, the Ember Palace. So this was used, it was a ritual firestone that was used to light the rafts for the dead, which is, I suppose, what happened, like what Kalani's father did, the ritual to burn the body. That's cool. amulet enrichment. While the amulet itself has a person's name on it, these clip-ons represent status. This one is fairly simple, so probably means it didn't belong to anyone very high up. So this was what actually attached the amulet to like an actual like thing that you could wear around your neck. A big plate. This kind of plate would be filled with delicious treats for big celebrations when there is still an abundance of food. We've got the hummingbird pluck tool. I remember taking this and thinking that it was just barbaric. These tweezer-like tools were used to carefully pluck feathers of hummingbirds. Hummingbirds were considered elegant and agile, and decorations or headdresses made out of their feathers were extremely expensive. Did they kill the hummingbirds first? Who knows? Rubber ball, a very popular game amongst the Yanrana as a ball game played with two teams on a small court. The goal was to shoot the ball through a small hole. So, something akin to like basketball, I guess. But with small balls rather than big balls. This knife was the only weapon allowed in traditional Yanran wolf against man battles. So this would have been in the Colosseum area, the one I think I commented. I said it looked like Ice Crown Citadel when we were there. Yeah, this is all around that area. Bronze prize. The soldiers used to fight wolves and other wild animals in these arenas barehandedly. This trophy was given to whomever was last standing. So this, yeah, I guess this is just an example of one of the trophies. Like I said, this was that Colosseum area. Handcrafted gold coin. Some of the wealthier Yanrana would allow their children to carve their own symbol into these coins, resembling the sanctuary plate for good luck and fortune. All right. A medal. A medal the winner of the traditional wolf against man battles was awarded in glamorous ceremony. So it seems like wolves were like, I don't know, they seem like a main feature of this society in terms of like how they judge power. Because like we have the knife mentioned. There was something else, wasn't there? Maybe not. Maybe I'm just imagining it. But anyway. Wolf chains. Massive chains used to detain wolves between shows. A wolf muzzle. A muzzle for the wolves to protect hunters maintaining the arena. A small medicine flask. These flasks were often used for various medicines. Maybe this place was the infirmary. Okay. So I don't remember getting that, but... Remains of a musical instrument. Some sort of weird structure. Guessing it would have been a musical instrument once. Oh, it's like one of those plinky things. Plinky things? Boop, 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 boop. No, I don't know. Or you like plink on the things and they like make a noise. They vibrate. Anyway, it's like little metal strips. You guys know what I'm talking about, right? I'm sure everybody does. A stone figurine. Female. Someone carved a simple little figurine of a woman, perhaps portraiting a friend or relative. I mean, so the art historian in me is coming out because there's no identifying features here. We would assume, I think, that this is a symbol rather than a portrait. Like usually if there's not really any identifying features, we assume that it's symbolizing something, women, as opposed to, well, in this case, women, as opposed to being a portrait of someone, but that's neither here nor there. Stone figurine, little boy. Someone carved a simple little figurine of a boy, perhaps portraiting a friend or relative again. And then there's a couple here, something here that we didn't find. And then we've got the male one. So this must be little boy. Well, I must have missed the little girl, I guess. And stone figurine male, someone carved a simple figurine of a man, perhaps portraying a friend or relative. So, I mean, this is just what I know from a very basic understanding of art history, but maybe I'm wrong. Correct me in the comments if you're an art historian and you know. What would we glean from nondescript figures carved in stone? I guess it could be, but it could be like a portrait, but that seems unlikely. Kalani's knife. So this we got just after that cool field full of like fireflies that we ran through. We got this in the cut. There was the cutscene, and then we got this like immediately after, just in that kind of chasm area. So Kalani's knife, even though she never went hunting, she did love her knife, as her father had given it to her in better days. I think we read that one when we got it. We've got a pounder to grind spices. There must be a pestle nearby. We missed that, obviously, because you can see that's very clearly the pestle. Massive hammer, very sturdy and large hammer. Pickaxe, a pickaxe well worn. It either had a hard job or wasn't very well made in the first place. We've got some buffalo chains. Massive chains look sturdy enough to keep even a buffalo in check. And then we got most of the ones after this point, so that indicates to me that probably we did miss one near the end. That's unfortunate. But anyway, here. So this is probably after I got the new PC. So within the last 2 episodes, we would have gotten these ones. This is a hollowed horn. A horn all hollow, possibly used to hold drinking water while traveling. That makes sense. A painted turtle shell. This shell survived a really long time, it looks like. Perhaps because it was painted with colored wax. Oh, that's neat. Pretty. Spearhead. Looks like the remains of a hunter weapon. Doesn't look Yanran though. Oh, okay, so this is the Machuruku. We're getting into like Machuruku area here. Looks like it must have belonged to one of the hunter's wives. A farmer's wife would not have been allowed such glamorous accessories. Interesting. So I guess hunters are like higher rank in society than farmers. We've got a whistle. Looks like the whistle the Yanrana used. It imitated a duck's call, for example, and was used as a hunting aid. All right. I mean, we still do this today, right? They have like things that mimic different calls for animals. I mean, hunters do it like, I guess there's some people who can just mimic bird calls in general. But anyway, this is the friendly cube. This is the one we got the achievement for. The cake is a lie achievement. I mentioned it. I don't think it popped up on screen because I wasn't recording that screen, but it looks like it could have been used for a multitude of things. Weigh stuff down, climb stuff. Sound off in the comments if you actually have played Portal. I'm curious. An ocarina. A musical instrument that was quite popular among Yanran kids, as a lot of children learnt to make these themselves. That's pretty cool. I wonder what it's made out of. Looks, it could have been pottery, I guess. Or maybe some kind of, like, animal organ. Like a leather type thing. I don't know. It looks like a little bit heavier, so probably pottery. A chisel. A fairly fine chisel, possibly for work on statues and stuff. Heavy hammer. A real heavy hammer. I think we've got a couple different hammers, don't we? Massive hammer. I'm sure there's at least one more here. A regular hammer. So the hammers get larger in size towards the end of the game. Heavy hammer. A real heavy hammer. Because like this one is just a sturdy and large hammer. You need pretty strong men to be able to work with this sort of tool. A transport system for stones. This must have, so this we found at the foot of that big statue towards the end of the game. The very end of the second to last episode, we found this. This must have been used to lift heavy loads, possibly for construction. That makes sense. They were lifting stones into the air to be carved, or carved stones into the air after they were carved, in order to put them on the statue. So they would have needed some kind of system for that. This is the second. Oh, okay, interesting. A ring with what appears to be one half of some sort of symbol. A ring with the second half of the symbol. I wonder what the symbol is. Guess we'll never know. Ancient symbol necklace. Looks like a symbol amulet, but it's not Yanran and looks really old. So again, this is another Machiruku thing. Probably like their version of what the Yanran did, I suppose. It seems as though perhaps the Machiruku were like a precursor civilization to the Yanrana. I mean, that would be the implication, right? Because if they're using these symbols, perhaps that tradition survived between the two civilizations. A tomahawk. This looks somewhat like an axe, just different somehow. I don't remember the Yanrana using anything like this. So again, this would have been something that I guess didn't survive between the two civilizations. A brooch. Some sort of brooch. Looks like a simple clip-on mechanism. Yeah, simple enough. A golden drinking vessel, a fancy drinking vessel. The owner must have been quite high up in society. So we got this just outside. It was at the Temple of the Sun, just outside of the cave where Kalani's father took her body and kind of like had like a rest, and then he met up with the little wolf for the first time officially after killing its entire family. I wish I knew what this is. I'd be curious. I guess I must have missed it at the Temple of the Sun somehow. And then Atevo's amulet. So this is Kalani's father's amulet, a traditional Yanrana name amulet. Children used to get their first amulet in an initiation ritual to welcome them as full members of the Yanrana society. This particular amulet looks a bit provisional and amateurishly made. Interesting. I wonder why that is. And it comes full circle. Isn't that cool? So like you get Atevo's amulet at the end, but you get Kalani's amulet at the beginning. Children used to get their first, and it's the exact same words except for like this last little descriptive bit. Okay, so mushrooms, we got 11 out of 28 for this kind of mushroom, the spotted crown. We've got 19 out of 29 of the white cloaks. So the spotted crown, fashionable but poisonous, a special Yanran recipe turned into a powerful brew. Enhanced with a little goat's milk, it would help you get through a laborious day. White cloak. Being as rare as it is back then, the white cloak was a delicacy reserved for festivities only. Ironically, that's the one I think we got the most of all the mushrooms. We got 12 of 21 of the azure trumpets. This is an underwater species. Was sought after to cover wounds and bruises. The Yanrana believed it had healing powers. Nevertheless, it was pretty hard to get a hold of, as it was not only underwater, but also hard to spot. We had a fair bit of luck getting those ones. Sandy needling, I guess. The sandy needling was fairly common and often used in stews and soups. Had to be washed very thoroughly as it carried quite a bit of sand between its stems. And then we have the coupling. The coupling is not poisonous, but also far from delicious. Its shape lent itself to collecting rainwater, though. So the coupling was still appreciated widely. Ah, okay, so it's just like, it's literally a coupling. And then these ones, this is the one we got the least of, Druffle. Druffle was extremely rare, and finding one was time-consuming as they grow underground and have no above-ground elements whatsoever. And we got those when we were digging around as a mole, I think, which was crazy. Our legendary animals. So we didn't get a lot of them. We did get the legendary buffalo. We got the legendary armadillo, and we got the legendary mountain goat. Well, that's pretty cool. I'm not gonna go back and get the rest of these unless I decide to, like, on my own play through this game again, which I might do at some point. It feels like I could replay it and I'd probably enjoy it, especially going and trying to find some of these things, but that won't be something on the channel. This will be the last of Lost Ember for us, most likely. If I were to do anything else with this game, I'd probably live stream it. I don't know. I do hope that you guys enjoyed that little short video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!